Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're in sales, RevOps, or business leadership, you have probably been told a million times by now that AI is the ultimate competitive edge, the magic silver bullet that's going to completely revolutionize your revenue process, right? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain to look at the darker, kind of hidden side of that massive promise. I want you to start by asking yourself this reality check. What if your CRM is quietly sabotaging your entire AI strategy? It's a harsh question, I know, but we really have to face facts here. Because feeding a highly advanced AI model a CRM that's just packed full of duplicates, ghost records, and outdated contacts, that doesn't magically create intelligence out of thin air. You see, AI is simply an amplifier, period. If your data is a mess, your AI essentially becomes a machine for scaling bad decisions way faster than any human team ever could. And the truly terrifying part? This automated confusion ruins your forecasts and breaks your outreach campaigns long before leadership even notices the revenue leaking out the door. So consider this your essential survival guide for the AI era. Today we're going to cover 1. The intelligence illusion. 2. Anatomy of data debt. 3. Automated self-sabotage. 4. The great database audit. And finally, 5. Scaling strategic growth. Let's just jump right in. Section 1. The intelligence illusion. Why AI feels magical until it fails. Generative AI feels like absolute magic right now, doesn't it? You get instant pipeline forecasts, hyper-personalized outreach, the whole shebang. But underneath the surface, what is it actually learning from? The truth is, most CRMs are absolute disasters. We are talking about duplicate contacts, 5 slightly different versions of the exact same company, old opportunities from like 3 years ago still marked as active, and random custom fields nobody has touched in 4 years. This is the messy, overwhelming reality your AI is trying to spot patterns in. And here is the real hidden trap. The AI sounds incredibly confident. It doesn't raise its hand and say, hey, your underlying data is totally broken. No, it simply gives you these polished, beautiful answers built on totally flawed foundations. That is exactly how entire sales teams end up blindly trusting pipeline forecasts that were literally never real in the first place. Which brings us to Section 2, Anatomy of Data Debt. How dirty data compounds over time. So we need to define data debt explicitly here. I want you to think of data debt exactly like financial debt on a credit card. At first, it feels perfectly manageable. A busy rep skips a proper update because they're laser focused on closing a big deal. You get a duplicate here, an abandoned field there, no biggie, right? But just like financial debt, the interest on these minor CRM errors compounds dangerously over time. The ugly, everyday reality of modern data debt is lurking in your systems right this second. Ghost records from employees who left the company years ago, dead email addresses, totally disconnected systems across sales, marketing, and customer success, not to mention old ideal customer profile assumptions. When you feed all of that into an AI, suddenly your incredibly expensive automation is deeply confused. Imagine blasting a high-stakes campaign to obsolete contacts. It hammers your domain reputation instantly and targets the completely wrong buyer personas. Let's pivot to Section 3, Automated Self-Sabotage, when AI accelerates operational stupidity. AI only creates an advantage when the underlying system is actually trustworthy. Imagine a clean AI workflow with unified records, real-time enrichment, verified contacts, and clear lifecycle stages. That company is getting lightning-fast lead response and way better conversions. Now contrast that with a debt-heavy environment full of fragmented systems, duplicate accounts, conflicting ownership, and broken attribution. They just get automated chaos and a rapidly growing disadvantage. Basically, AI either accelerates operational maturity or it accelerates operational stupidity. And things go off the rails really quickly once AI starts making autonomous decisions on that fragmented data. Imagine your system automatically reallocating your super valuable marketing budget based on ghost opportunities that should have been deleted 2 years ago. That isn't optimization, guys. That is automated self-sabotage, pure and simple. Section 4, the Great Database Audit. From how much AI to how trustworthy. Okay, let's talk solutions. Let's walk through this new autonomous data hygiene checklist.
And listen, this isn't about painful manual admin work every 6 months anymore. Clean data is now critical infrastructure that can actually be managed continuously by AI agents. You need to consolidate fragmented records across your platforms, aggressively delete those obsolete opportunities, standardize naming conventions, rigorously verify ownership accuracy, and continuously validate your contact info.
And this next point brilliantly illustrates a total counterintuitive bombshell. Ready? Sometimes deleting data creates more predictive accuracy than adding new leads. Take a second to let that sink in. Less noise actually produces better, sharper intelligence. This brings us to our final section, scaling strategic growth. Clean foundations beat big AI budgets. When your data integrity is actually strong, the underlying system finally stops poisoning the model. This is where the magic happens. AI agents can personalize outreach properly without those embarrassing mistakes. Your forecasting finally becomes something you can trust, critical customer signals become visible way earlier in the cycle, and expansion opportunities are just far easier to identify. Ultimately, entire parts of the sales cycle can become truly autonomous, all because the foundation is rock solid. The winners in this new era, they won't necessarily be the loudest AI companies with the absolute flashiest tools. They are going to be the companies disciplined enough to fix the plumbing underneath. Why? Because your CRM is no longer just a static digital Rolodex. It is the active training ground for every single decision your AI will make next. If that foundation is broken, your entire AI strategy turns into a massive liability. Which leads us to the ultimate takeaway from today's explainer. More data isn't always better. Better data wins. In the AI era, data integrity isn't just an IT housekeeping issue anymore. Data integrity is your core revenue strategy. So, before you rush out to sign a contract for yet another fancy AI tool, I want to leave you with one final provocative question. Would you trust your CRM to train an autonomous sales team today? Think deeply about that one. If the answer is no, well then you know exactly where your work needs to start. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you found this structured breakdown valuable and want to keep mastering the complex topics that actually drive growth, make sure to subscribe. Keep learning, keep optimizing, and I'll see you next time.